Hey, good afternoon everybody. This is Jeff Dieck with Pyxis Lab. Doing a short video here and very proud to introduce the new Titronex MFA Series wet chemistry analyzer platform. This is something that here at Pyxis we've been working on for about 3 years or so. It's the next generation of our new product development. The purpose of this analyzer, and there'll be an entire series of analyzers in the first round of the launch. This is what we call Generation 1. It will include 5 analyzer forms, all of which physically are identical to each other. The only difference is the name, the firmware, and the part number. The purpose for designing this platform was to offer various marketplaces a solution alternative to wet chemistry monitoring that really targets areas that have been a challenge for conventional wet chemistry analyzers. The Titronex Analyzer Series is rather unique in its design and its operation. What makes it a little bit fundamentally different than others available on the marketplace is that we don't use any reagent pumps, we don't have any reagent tubes, we don't have any sample pumps. The design is a rather simplistic design that operates under a pressurized water sample flow, capable up to 72 pounds of operation. The water sample enters the lower left portion of the analyzer through the very well-known FS100 ultrasonic flow sensor. That flow sensor can be programmed into a control mode, and when in control mode, the user can define the flow rate set point through the analyzer. The recommended flow rate set point for this analyzer platform is between 100 and 500 milliliters per minute. The FS100 flow sensor itself, with that set point, goes into what we call a PID control mode, and through a 4-20 output will regulate a motorized valve to dial in sample flow within the desired set point at all times. The actual HMI of the analyzer has the capability of allowing the user to run the unit in both standard mode and what we call water savings mode. In standard mode, the operation enables bypass sample flow 100% of the time. So the sample will go through the flow meter, regulate the sample flow, and it will go to drain as it's waiting for the next sample iteration. But we also offer what's called water savings mode, and in water savings mode, this 3-way valve will remain in a closed position and essentially wait the duration of time until the next sample cycle. Those are for applications where the customer is very sensitive to water consumptive use and they want to minimize the amount of water going to drain. The HMI offers some customization as to the valve actuation sequence, the duration of the pre-flush and the sample time, as well as the frequency of the sample being conducted itself. Once the sample passes through the motor valve, it hits a 3-way valve. The 3-way valve, when in standby mode, is just sitting idly by, allowing either the sample to go to drain in standard operation or closed in a water savings mode. And then when it comes time for the sample to actually obtain in the reaction chamber, the 3-way valve will open, the water sample will flush the reaction chamber and go to overflow to drain for a set period of time. That can be manipulated by the customer and their user preference. An indication or a scenario of that might be if the analyzer was, let's say, 300 to 400 feet away from the sample point, we would want ample flush time of that reaction chamber to give a freshwater sample before the reagent is administered into conducting the sample. After the flush occurs, the 3-way valve closes and you now have a completely primed and full reaction chamber with fresh sample. Inside of the reaction chamber is a magnetic stir with a Hall effect flow sensor to monitor the stirring rate of the reaction chamber, and that's when the unit goes into actually test mode. During the test mode process, we actually have a small cam-driven rotating actuator here, which will then take reagent from the disposable reagent cartridge and administer it into the reaction chamber. During that process, the mixer is mixing, and then the reaction timer occurs, and after the reaction timer is done, the reading is taken. What's unique about this platform, as well as the unique flow process to it, is the actual reagent cartridge itself. We've designed a disposable reagent cartridge. The reagent cartridge itself has liquid within it and contains a straight tube, so every time you change the reagent cartridge, you get a brand new distribution tube with the reagent cartridge. So there's no maintenance of peristaltic pumps, there's no replacement of peristaltic tubing to administer the reagent. The original launch, or the generation launch, we're going to have 5 versions of this analyzer. Again, all physically the same. The only difference is firmware and reagent type. First form will be low-range calcium hardness in a scale of 0 to 5 ppm, and the resolution will be 30 parts per billion on that test. Really common use might be softener discharge or boiler feed water or RO feed water. We will be offering both free and total DPD wet chemistry version for monitoring chlorine. What makes our our version a little bit unique is we have a new patented single reagent version for that test, which doesn't require pre-mixing of buffer solutions or reagent powder with the reagent cartridge. You just snap it in place and you'll get up to 6 months shelf life on that reagent. So you're not disposing the very expensive reagents that you just purchased within 20 to 30 days of installing them. The fourth version is actually for orthophosphate. We'll use a molybdenate method with the capacity of measuring between 0 and 25 parts per million. And the fifth version is anionic polymer measured as AA amps. That would be used in conventional cooling water chemistry that's using anionic polymer or AA amps chemistry in their application, and they want to know polymer residuals. A rather broad offering. Again, this is generation 1. Generation 2 will be coming in a few months to offer even more tests and more capacity. The HMI includes a digital 4G gateway, which is deactivated with a global SIM card, can be activated upon request. You'll have a live reading of the actual previous test result, and you'll have a graphical display of the test value as the tests occur, as well as a remaining inventory volume within the cartridge. So every time you change the cartridge out, you'll get a fresh inventory volume display on the HMI. The unit offers two 4 to 20 milliamp outputs, one for the reading and one for the reagent inventory. Offers Modbus RTU and Modbus TCP, and it has 2 dry contact relays which can be programmed for alarming. So we're very proud of this platform, and we hope and think that it'll bring some disruption to the marketplace and offer some value for applications where a conventional wet chemistry analyzer may not have worked so well. The replacement of these cartridges is super simple. You'll go into here and tell the unit that you're actually going to be replacing the cartridge. You'll unlock the cartridge mechanism and remove the cartridge. And when the new cartridge comes, unlock the mechanism, slap it in place, and tell the unit that you've put in a new cartridge. Very essential that you do tell the unit that you've installed a new cartridge so that you can get inventory readout during the test cycles. Thanks everyone for taking the time to watch, and if you have any questions, reach out to Pyxis or your preferred distributor. Take care.